Hello! Ooh, you keep trying to slip that poop in there! Who's pooping on sandwiches? Seriously!
Oh, that's not funny, man!
If you're watching this, there's a good chance you're interested in lost media, but more specifically, cancelled animated movies. It's fun to imagine what would happen if these projects became real. It's fun to find concept arts, storyboards, test animation footage, and trailers as clues to know what could have been. Every single animation studio has at least that one well-known cancelled project that never saw the light of day. These cancelled projects include Pixar's Newt, Blue Sky's Nimona, Sony's Popeye, PlayStation's Sly Cooper, Studio Ghibli's Porco Rosso sequel, and I could go on and mention all of Imagi's cancelled films, but I think it's best if I save that for another video. But then, there's DreamWorks. DreamWorks Animation also has their fair share of cancelled projects such as Lerkins, Monkeys in Mumbai, and Boo, Bureau of Other Worldly Operations. But today I'm going to be talking about a cancelled DreamWorks movie that's not only popular, but is also considered their cancelled masterpiece. Case in point, I'm going to be talking about Me and My Shadow. Even if this film does exist, it got a massive cult following, and people are still asking DreamWorks to revive the project. Out of all of the cancelled projects, why this one in particular? Why are so many people interested in Me and My Shadow? What happened to this movie? What went wrong? Well, let's jump right in. It all started in late 2010. DreamWorks announced a new original project called Me and My Shadow. At the beginning, they only mentioned what the movie would be about, the people working on it, and the release date of March 2013. It could have been a buddy comedy about a shadow named Stan who wants to spice up the life of a human he is attached to called Stanley by breaking the shadow rules and controlling him. Mark Dindo was going to direct the film. You may remember him as the director of movies such as Cat Stole Dance, The Emperor's New Groove, and Chicken Little. He was also a part of Wonder Park. Right now, he's currently working on an animated feature of Garfield. But the selling point of the movie that got people hooked to this project was not the cast, neither the plot. It was the unique animation style that would be a collaboration between computer animation and hand-drawn animation. The real world in the movie would be computer animated, and the shadows would be hand-drawn, marking this as the first time DreamWorks would return to working on hand-drawn animation after abandoning it due to the failure of Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. In early 2012, DreamWorks revealed more information about Me and My Shadow. The synopsis was revealed, and it says, quote, Me and My Shadow releases the once secret world of shadows and their human counterparts. Shadow Dan, our hero Shadow, yearns for a more exciting life, but happens to be stuck with Daniel Grubb, a timid guy with an extreme aversion to adventure. When a crime in the Shadow world puts both of their lives in danger, Shadow Dan is forced to take control of Daniel. They go on a madcap adventure to investigate the crime and stop an evil shadow villain from leading a rebellion where shadows take over the human counterparts and human world. During this adventure, Shadow Dan empowers Daniel to let go of his fears and embrace life. Through their adventure, they both learn that one cannot be whole without a true friend. For the voice cast, they hired Tom Hiddleston as the shadow villain, Kate Hudson as Stanley's love interest named Heidi, who's into photography, Josh Gad as the dull and shy Stanley Grubb, and Bill Hader as the energetic shape-shifting Shadow Stan. If you look at the test footage of Stan's animation, it's like the Bill Hader version of Robin Williams' Genie from Aladdin, as well as Smith's Genie from Aladdin.
Hey! A bank robbery! Come on, let's go! Come on, don't you want to be a hero? Well, I don't know where you're from, but here in America, we tried to get on the TV. Let's do it!
However, when they got everything set up, there were two things that showed the first sign of problems with the production. Mark Dindo was replaced by DreamWorks veteran Alessandro Coloni as the director, and the release date was pushed back to November 2013. But things got more complicated when Mr. Peabody and Showman came in. This project was in development at DreamWorks for several years with Rob Minkoff as the director to turn the classic Jade Ward cartoon into a computer-animated feature film. It was greenlit at the same time as Me My Shadow. DreamWorks had more confidence in Peabody than Shadow, so they switched release dates where Peabody would be released in November 8, 2013, and Shadow will be released in March 14, 2014. However, in February 2013, another switch on the schedule happened when they pulled Me and My Shadow from the schedule by saying that the movie is still in development. No more updates would come after this. But then, in January 2015, this is where it got cancelled. DreamWorks was under new management by shutting down the PDI in Redwood City and lay off around 500 employees due to the financial failure of two DreamWorks movies that came out in 2014, Penguins of Madagascar and Mr. Peabody Showman. And it's basically by losing $57 million each. Yeah, both of those films were box office bombs. With the loss of the Redwood studio and 500 employees, it would be official to say that Me and My Shadow got cancelled along with the other DreamWorks movies that were in development by those 500 employees. It was a rough time at DreamWorks, and this is the time where they focused more on making changes instead of releasing as many anime movies as they can. They decided to go from 2 or 3 movies a year to 1 or at the most 2. But that didn't stop them just yet to make a Shadow movie. In November 2015, acclaimed filmmaker Edgar Wright, the director of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and the Cornetto trilogy that includes Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End, was hired by DreamWorks to make his animation directorial debut with a Shadow-themed movie. This would update the concept of Me and My Shadow and give it a new twist thanks to Edgar Wright's signature comedic style and storytelling. And yes, the title Me and My Shadow during that time got changed to just Shadows. However, a few years later, the project got dropped again because DreamWorks was under new management again. On April 28, 2016, Comcast officially purchased DreamWorks Animation for $3.8 billion so that NBC Universal would fit in with the company. Jeffrey Katzenberg stepped down as the leader. In an interview with Collider in 2017, Edgar Wright stated, quote, "Well, I wrote 3 drafts of that, but because of the whole regime change though, most of the people that hired David Williams to do it don't work there anymore. So at the moment, that's not something that I'm necessarily attached to, I think. It's something to be determined." And here we are today in 2021, and it seems DreamWorks has no plans to make a Shadow movie anytime soon. What we are left with is basically some concept art and some animation tests. The reason why Me and My Shadow got cancelled is due to bad timing. The movie was in production at the time when DreamWorks was at one of the worst shapes. Box office flops began happening, and they were no longer as they used to be back in the day, and in order to save themselves from doom, they had to do some sacrifices. To be clear, the DreamWorks animation that made Me and My Shadow during development is a different studio than the DreamWorks we have now. And due to new management, nothing would be the same as before. But the big question is, if the movie got cancelled, why are so many people interested in this? Well, there are a lot of reasons why, but the main reason is the return of old-school hand-drawn animation. Ever since Disney and DreamWorks decided to let go of hand-drawn in favor of computer animation, and companies like Pixar and Blue Sky were on the top in the early 2000s, fans have demanded and pleaded with studios to never give up making hand-drawn anime movies. Heck, there's even a documentary about how hand-drawn is nowadays, literally called hand-drawn. There was a point where Disney almost brought back hand-drawn with the Princess and the Frog and Winnie the Pooh. But they both ended up as box office flops due to being released at the wrong time by competing against other blockbusters, and they end up giving up on hand-drawn again in favor of making computer animated films. Technically, hand-drawn has never gone for good, since there are some modern cartoons that use hand-drawn for smoother animation than regular TV, and plenty of great independent 2D anime features that was still released today. But that's not enough for the cartoon community. They want more. The cartoon community doesn't care about indie hand-drawn animated movies. They want the big studios to make hand-drawn anime movies so they can be released worldwide for a chance to see them at their local theater. Yeah, they could be very picky with their cartoons. It's weird talking about it because, let's be honest, Me and My Shadow was not fully hand-drawn. It was supposed to be a half 2D, half CGI film with the real people in 3D and the shadows in 2D. But again, Me and My Shadow served as a chance to bring back hand-drawns. People are attached to this project because they are desperate for it. And they are literally desperate for it to come back on the big screen. Plus, while this wasn't the first movie idea, since Pixar did the idea with a show called Day and Night, it was still interesting to see. Now, as many of you know, DreamWorks is a completely different studio nowadays. But while they did lose interest in Me and My Shadow, one day they might bring it back. Because if Sony can revive the Popeye film, there's always a good chance DreamWorks can do the same with Me, My Shadow, right? But we're just gonna have to wait and see. And that was the history of Me and My Shadow, an inspiration idea I got from Animat. Thank you so much for watching my new video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and leave a comment down below. Heck, if you want, you can let me know which next film I should next for the history of that film. Anyways, in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video. Spaceboy CT, out.
The end.